Hello once again, gardening fans. I'm finally getting around to a live update, and there's a couple of little developments in the garden, as well as the little guy who wants some attention here. Hey, Stinker. I gave him that name for a reason. Anyway, while I was unavailable for working on my own garden, my neighbor was very helpful in keeping things alive. This first one has grown a bit. The strawberries, while not producing fruit, are still looking very healthy. This next one over actually has a new one in here, which is this plant right here. That one I actually grew from seed in water in the kitchen, just as a little experiment. I wanted to see if soaking the beans would allow me to really produce a nice large plant. Well, what you see there is, let me see if I can get a better view. What you see there is mostly what was in the kitchen, and that was a couple of weeks ago that I transplanted it, so it really hasn't grown much. But the others are doing well, and I finally got some gardening tape, which is trying to help hold up this one here, which is actually quite a bit larger if it were to stick out like that. So hopefully that'll just keep things from dropping to the ground. This is the real biggie, the prize plant, the beans. And as I work my way up here, let me just work my way there, and you can see I got beans. I'm just waiting for them to get a little plumper before I grab the first one. Moving back down again, the individual beans in this pot are all actually doing a bit better now. They really seem to be picking up. This is the stock for that big one, but then I've got, sorry, this is not the stock for that one. This is actually another plant that is now working its way up, so I'm hoping that once it passes the light here, it'll really start to take off. So maybe next weekend, somewhere in that neighborhood. Here's the Ace tomato plant. It just doesn't seem to be growing much. I'm not sure what to do about this one, aside from just giving it sun, which today, unfortunately, it's overcast. And it was yesterday, so without the direct sun it doesn't seem to do quite as well. Then we move over here to the okay, let's go down here. What is it? It's a tomato pineapple. Actually a pineapple tomato, whatever. It's a sort of striped tomato. This plant has gotten rather large. It's made it all the way past the last railing going across here and almost to the top rail. So I've got a little flower over here, but that seems to be about the only one on this plant. And let's see if we can get down below it, and you can see it really hasn't started to turn into a bulb yet. So I don't know. This is the thing with me and tomatoes. It seems to be a love-hate relationship. I love tomatoes, but they don't seem to like me much, and they don't tend to grow real well here. So back to the beans. We've got another bean plant which is starting to work its way up, and I've got more of the tape trying to hold up the individual. This was the pot I was thinking about before that has so many. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different bean plants in here, or 4 bean plants, and a couple of them have made it up about halfway, so we'll see what happens with those. Finally, we've got the lemon cucumber. This is really starting to look kind of sick. Not doing quite so well, dropping a lot of flowers. I haven't really seen much for fruit. I guess I'll take a closer look again today, but at this point, rather than let all of these leaves work their way down to the patio, down to the actual decking, which can get quite hot and burn them easily, I've actually put tape to try and hold them up a bit, so hopefully that will help. I also discovered a list online of companion plants, and it turns out that having the cucumber next to the tomato was not a good idea, so things have been rearranged. I think that's what the list said. I'm actually printing it out now, and I'm going to go back and look at it again and make sure all my plants are organized so that they're not enemies of each other. So that's it for now. Until next time.